going on? Joe Coffey here for PremierGuitar.com. We're checking out new VOX guitars, and I've got Rich Lasner with me here. Rich, how you doing?
Hey, how you doing, man?
Good. Good to see you.
You
You know, we had a special treat. We got to watch you make these things, so now they're ready for the world. Debuted at Namm last year, but there's some new things to talk about, so take us through it.
Yeah, well, I think the first thing that would be interesting to look at is we brought one that's cutaway here, and that would be the easiest way for me to explain what's going on. If you take a look at the way our instruments are made, they're made on a 4-axis CNC mill. What that means is these guitars are basically cut in space. Our guitars are curved in every dimension along the length and the width, and what it allows us to do is give you a nice, resonant, semi-hollow, lightweight guitar that molds to your body and sounds like the best guitar you ever dreamed of. So, we brought one here with the back off. We don't sell this. This is not the low price model yet. But we have several guitars also here from the shop that you saw. Just to show what we can do, this guitar right here is one of our DC models, which was custom made up in Marin County, California, and it's made from beautiful African Carina wood, which is the stuff of legends from old Gibson Explorers and Flying B's from the 50s. The fingerboard is very unusual. It's African snake wood. I've never seen it on a guitar before, but it's as hard as ebony, but it's oily like rosewood, has beautiful tone. We also made the tuner buttons out of it, and the knobs are custom made. Very cool. Yeah, one last one I got I can show you guys. Again, from our shop up in Northern California. This is a Sitka spruce top, a beautiful piece that you would normally use on a carved jazz guitar, and an absolutely wonderful piece of Sapele mahogany on the back. Big, warm, jazzy sounding guitar with a sort of tuxedo, no inlay fingerboard with white binding. And that's some of the new cool stuff that we brought to the show.
When we were visiting you at the factory, we were kind of freaking out on these pickups. They're very, very versatile. Talk about what's going on there.
Oh yeah, we got together with DiMarzio and decided that we wanted to kill them. Essentially, we wanted them to make us one pickup that had the 3 classic sounds in it. So each of these pickups, the covers actually contain 3 individual coils. And combined with these switches, one for each pickup, it's a full humbucking sound, classic P90, huge single coil sound, sparkling Stratocaster type of single coil sound, and all of them are hum canceling, so the guitar is totally quiet. No active electronics, no batteries, just analog passive wiring. It's the first guitar pickup ever made like that.
Talk about the body contours. You guys put a lot of effort into making sure this is a guitar that feels good as well as plays good and sounds good.
Yeah, we wanted to take a different approach, because typically semi-hollow guitars are some of the most wonderful sounding instruments on the planet, and for a rock guy they're one of the most uncomfortable guitars to play. You'll usually see a rock guy with his arm like this trying to get over the top of that type of instrument. What we did here using 3-dimensional cutting technology is we've carved this guitar on every plane and every angle so that you essentially get the equivalent of a belly cut and an arm cut in a guitar that wraps around your body like this. As I'm holding this, my hands fall naturally into place because this guitar is completely bent to contour to the human shape. It's the only guitar ever made like that, and judging from how hard it is to make, it may be the only one that was ever made like that. We also cut a new kind of neck joint for a guitar like this, which allows you access all the way to the end of the fingerboard without ever having to touch the body. So you can play the entire neck, never touching the body itself. And that's also a first. No semi-hollow guitar has ever been made like that.
Talk about these tuners, man. Those are sexy.
Well, these are custom for this guitar. We essentially decided to take our usual buttons, and instead of using our S-shaped metal buttons, these are snake wood made just like the fingerboard, and we carved them to go on this one guitar, and it's made from the same pieces of wood that the fingerboard came from.
Bring people up to speed who may not be aware of the history of VOX guitars. There's a bit of history there, obviously, and here's a new direction for the future. It's coming together. Right.
Well, VOX obviously is known as an amplifier company, and is the sound of the Beatles, the Kinks, and many of the classic recordings from the 60s coming out of the British invasion. Also, they were very powerful with bands like the Rolling Stones and others using VOX electric guitars. They were often unusual shapes, teardrop, yeah, or the Phantom. They tried putting wah-wah pedals and octave dividers and distortion right in the guitar. They've always tried to innovate. Some of those experiments today seem fairly crude, but the technology at the time wasn't much better, but they always wanted to do something more with the guitar. Well, VOX guitars went away for over a decade, and we felt a couple of years ago that it was time, with the hand-wired Heritage amp line coming back, that we would bring back the VOX electric guitar and the history of innovation that it was known for.
What should people know about availability and pricing?
Oh, well, VOX guitars are in very limited supply on purpose. Last year, we only made and shipped 500 of these guitars, the entire line for the US, another 500 for the rest of the world. We're going to do a little more than that this year, but we have a handful, maybe 50 dealers worldwide picked to handle these, so they can go on our website, whatever country they're in, and find out where they can be found.
Cool. What's the website?
It is www.voxvirage.com.
All right, Rich, thanks a lot.
All right, man.
I'm Joe Coffey. You're watching PremierGuitar.com.